Those who knock deserve to find an open door. But the promise is, if you continually knock, you'll find doors of opportunity. It says, if you search, you will find. So make the note, it's good. Finding is reserved for the searchers because they deserve it. Now, at first they may have needed it, but they now know that just needing it is not sufficient. But if they need it, now they must qualify for it. The reason why you're going to be blessed with good ideas this weekend is because you've come searching. You've gotten on an airplane to come searching. Got in your automobile to come searching. You got here searching. Now you're ready to receive. And for those who search, they will find answers. They will find plans, imagination to stir yourself into action for future benefit. So if you search to find a good idea, you must go looking, go searching. You've got to go to church. You've got to go to class. You've got to go to the seminar. You've got to go to the library. You've got to go to the books if you wish to find. Rarely does a good idea interrupt you. Rarely. But if you will search, you will find. So we get not what we need, but we get what we deserve. It says if you ask, someone has an answer. If you keep asking, the answers belong to you, because by virtue of asking, you have qualified. So we don't get what we need, we get what we deserve. The mother on welfare should be taught in some small manner that hopefully she can begin deserving the welfare check. Not getting it because she needs it, but now starting to get it because she deserves it. If the welfare worker says, what must I do to begin the process of deserving? So now the welfare worker comes back and the door is painted and the fence is painted. And now Mary gets the $450 to help take care of her children, not because she needs it, but because she's beginning to deserve it. Then the welfare worker thinks of some other project. She said, Mary, if these weeds are gone and this little garden is cultivated, when I come back, now that the door is painted and the fence is painted, if the weeds are gone and this little garden is cultivated, you get the $450. And step by step, a new life is emerging, learning the process of deserving it, not just needing it. We teach our children at home, right? Child says, I need $10. So that language doesn't work here. There's plenty of money here, and the vaults are full. But to say I need $10 is not how you open the vault. So the child says what? Wow, how can I get that $10 that I need? So here's what they learn to say. How could I earn $10? Now the vault opens up. Now the money starts to flow. How could I earn $10? What could I do to earn the money? Not to get the money because you need it. Maybe you need the money. That's, all of us have needs. But here the key is to figure out how to open the vault, how to open the bank, how to open this unbelievable flow of resources to come our way. And here's the key: to deserve it, not to need it. You can't walk out to the fields and say to the field, I need a crop. Here's what the field says. Here's what the ground says. Who is this clown that brings me his need but brings me no seed? So jot that down. Take your seed to the marketplace, not your need. Don't disclose your need to the marketplace, only your willingness. We'll talk about that a little later today. Because the marketplace is not interested in your need, but they are interested in your seed. They're interested in your willingness to work. They're interested in your disciplines. They're interested in your eagerness. They're interested in your vitality and your work ethic. That's what the marketplace is interested in. Not your need, but your seed. Okay. We get what we deserve. Old Testament God says, if you'll move toward me, I'll move toward you. See, that's how you get those occasions to meet God. You must make the move. God could say, you don't move, I don't move. You say, well, that's arbitrary. Well, when you're God, you can make it that way. So, the law says if you wish to receive, now let's talk about enlightened self-interest. If you wish to receive, and we would call the wish to receive self-interest. But if it's enlightened self-interest, here's what it says. I understand that in order to receive, I must give. Receiving is reserved for those who give. Receiving is not reserved for those who need it. It's reserved for those who deserve it. We deserve the receiving by giving. In fact, there's an extraordinary phrase in this little context, and here's what it says. It's better to give than it is to receive. Now, the uneducated person would find that difficult to ponder. Why would it be better to give than it is to receive? So let me give you one of the better phrases for the day. Here it is. Giving starts the receiving process. So, of course, it's better to give than it is to receive. How much receiving do you wish? You must start the giving process. For me to receive my additional fortunes for the future, not necessarily for the money, because I don't need the money. I take the money, but I don't. But I do need for someone to say a year from now, 5 years from now, Mr. Rohn, that's my life. Here to this place for this time. And thanks. It's unbelievable. Here's what you cannot buy. Thanks. You can't buy it with money. You have to. Now let's expand a little further now. It's called the law of riches and wealth. In our own self-interest, if we wish to be rich and wealthy and prosperous and healthy and all the valuable things we can think of for the human experience, how could we get there? It's understanding the law of enlightened self-interest and the law of deserving. The question was asked in the Bible, how can we be great? What is the key to greatness? Great wealth, great return, great accolades, trophies to put on the mantle above the fireplace. How can we get great respect, great riches, great abundance for ourselves? How can we get that? And the answer was given, and here was the answer. Find a way to serve. Find a way to serve the many. So I paraphrase it to read this. Service to many leads to greatness. Service to many leads to greatness. Someone says, well, about the best I can do is take care of myself. That's okay. Self-care, has its own reward, but it's very limited. Somebody says, I can't be worried about other people's problems. I got enough problems of my own. That's okay. Self-defense is okay. Self-preservation is okay, but it has a very limited reward. If you wish to change that into abundance, and prosperity, and uniqueness, then here's what you must do. Help solve other people's problems. Help find answers for someone else, not just for yourself, but for someone else. And in that kind of service, you now begin the process of greatness. Someone asked the question, how can I be ruler over many? How could I manage a lot of people? How could I be the leader of a vast movement or enterprise? Here was the answer. Nothing wrong with that wish. We call that self-interest of the highest kind. Wishing to be the manager, the ruler, wishing to be presiding over many people. Here was the answer. Be faithful when the amounts are small. Be faithful when there's just a few. Be disciplined when there's only a few. That starts to entitle you to someday be ruler over many. You say, well, if I had a big organization, I'd really run it with a strong hand and I'd be a fabulous leader. But I've only got a few and I don't know where they are. See, that's not going to work. If you wish to preside over riches, you must start when the amounts are small. Someone says, oh, if I had a fortune, I'd really take good care of it, but I've only got a paycheck. I don't know where it goes. See, not knowing where it goes disqualifies you now for presiding over the fortune. We've all heard that, right? I don't know where it all goes. Did you ever hear that expression? Oh, we'd love to have you run the company. You don't know where it all goes. Somebody says, it just gets away from me. Oh, we'd love to have you run the world, right? It just gets away from you. Somebody says, it's what had happened to me. My life got changed. My income got changed. My health got changed. Everything got changed for the better. And now I've lived the most extraordinary life. But it started with my passion for just a few, to translate for just the few. Someone says, well, there's just a few here. You know, does this meeting matter when there's only a few? And the answer is yes.
Don't advertise on Google Ads or Facebook before blocking click fraud with Clixies. Not a fun fact. 1 out of every 4 clicks is fraudulent. Lucky you, Clixies gives you an extra layer of ad protection that helps you secure your campaigns against bots, competitors, and click farms. It also improves your conversion rate
from all of these issues myself, and that's when I found out that I had a brain tumor actually blocking my tea production. Doctors were prescribing every synthetic solution in the book, but I learned that micronutrients are a key foundational element to rebalancing hormones. When you're deficient in any vitamins, minerals, or amino acids, it throws hormones out of whack quickly, and that's exactly why I developed Testro X. Testro X is the same all-natural ingredients that I use to raise my tea levels naturally from 11 nanograms per deciliter to 1192. Magnesium, zinc, boron, KSM66 organic ashwagandha, forskolin, glycine, and L-theanine. These key ingredients can help you stimulate your tea production naturally. So take back your manhood and boost your energy, improve your strength, and increase your stamina with Testro X. Click through to learn more.
Jot this down. You never know who's in the audience, whether it's a few or 1,000 or whatever. But you got to be faithful when there's just a few. Tell your story when there's just a few. Be just as passionate about ideas that can change someone's life when there's just a few. Now you begin. You're not fully qualified, but you begin the qualification to someday speak to many, someday preside over a vast crowd, someday be the manager or the leader of millions. It starts in those early days to deserve it. Now, jot this down. Also give yourself a chance to change. Some things I held on to that I thought this was it. I'm telling you, after a while I gave it up, found out it wasn't it. So give yourself a chance to change. Refine your philosophy. Refine your direction. If you'll give yourself a chance to do that, here's what will happen down the road a ways. A new door will open that you haven't discovered before. Give yourself a chance to change, reevaluate. Okay. So let your library be a testimonial of your dedicated interest in accelerated personal development, that you will read whatever you have to read. You will hear whatever you must hear, and you will watch and see whatever you must see in order to make your life refined and worthwhile and achieve all of your purposes. That's what I want this stopping station to be these 3 days. Just to come here and sit for a while and listen and ponder and take notes and work hard and see if you can't absorb, get all that you possibly can here, so that it will start to refine your life even before you get on an airplane and fly back to wherever you came from, before you get in your car and drive away. What we share with you here, with whatever, all the rest that you've learned, this will be a catalyst to start a process even before you get home that'll start working for you. Some of you are going to set some goals. We're going to do the workshop tomorrow, designing the next 10 years. Hopefully you'll come up with some new promises, some new objectives, some new ideas. And by the time we're finished here, these 2-3 days, I'm telling you, you'll see yourself able to accomplish 2 times, 3 times, 5 times more than you ever thought was possible, which will make this cost of this seminar a small price to pay. And hopefully it'll make the time you spent here small price to pay compared to making this an investment in your future. in what will flow in terms of money and income and return and reward and respect and dignity and accolades, trophies, all the stuff that can be yours. A marriage that lasts forever, a friendship that nourishes you forever, things that you'll find that you'll keep and treasure for a lifetime. Hopefully this is one of those weekends. It takes a lot of effort to learn. It takes a lot of effort to grow. It takes a lot of effort to decide and debate. But jot this down, it's all worth the price. Whatever stimulates you to think, whatever stimulates you to wonder, whatever stimulates you to react or even to debate, even if you hear something you say, well, that's not right. See, that's still valuable. It means you're awake. It means you're alert. It means you're alive. It means your mind is ready to take on something, whether it's agreeable or not agreeable. Something right, something wrong. Who cares what it is? We've got to listen to a variety of voices. And some are going to come from the left and some are going to come from the right. And some are going to come from mysterious sources. And some will try to entice you with all kinds of stuff. But that's okay. Just so you're alive and alert and awake, ready to process anything that comes your way. Take the best of it and make it beneficial for you, so that tomorrow you walk with a stronger step. Next month you see a clearer vision. And a month from now, the purpose for your life is multiplied by 2, 3, 5. That's what I want to create here. So, now to hurry and get through, because we have so many subjects to cover, let's cover now some other things under personal development. Here's one that's important as you read and as you listen and as you study and as you grow and as you take notes and as you fill up your journal. And then try to work on the ideas to make yourself valuable in the marketplace. Here's something to remember under personal development, some things I had to learn. First, steps to success. First of all, you need good ideas. Just decide right now you're going to accelerate your plan for collecting good ideas. Ideas for your life, ideas for your health, ideas for your marriage, your relationships. Ideas that stimulate. One idea sometimes leads to the next, needs to the next. And the 4 or 5 ideas in the future that really thrust acceleration into your life, you couldn't have gotten unless you went through the first one and the second one and the third one. Next, you need good plans. We're going to talk about time management and game plans tomorrow. You need a good health plan. Traveling around the world, you can imagine the kind of health plan I have to have. If I didn't have a superb, extreme, got to underline the word extreme. If I didn't have a superb, extreme health plan, you think I could travel all over the world? People look at my calendar and say, impossible. I'm the only one that can do it. Everyone else is too young. Incredible. But I've got to be extremely healthy. I can't let up at all in terms of diet, nutrition, exercise, all that stuff in order to stay healthy. So a good health plan, a good family plan. Here's a good one, a good marriage plan. Some people just go along married with their fingers crossed. You've got to have a better plan than that. Some are whistling in the dark, hoping everything will work out. Not a good plan. You need a good plan for how to use the day. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Best kept secret of the rich, how to use your time. A good plan to meet the right people over the right amount of time to stimulate your life. You need a game plan for lifestyle. We'll talk about that later. So to succeed, we need good ideas and good plans. Here's the next. We have to learn to handle the passing of time. Because all of this takes time to learn, to grow, to change. Getting through the seasons takes time. The spring has a certain amount of time. The summer has time. The harvest has time. The winter has time. Learning to handle the passing of time. Jot this down if you're involved in business. You've got to give your project time. You've got to give your people time. Give people a chance to learn, chance to grow, chance to change. One of the great requirements, especially in such an industrialized, busy, mad, dashing society, and that is to have people patience. First, we exercise it with our children and our family. getting people to work together. Got to have patience, even with your family. If you're involved with independent people, it's a challenge. It's like herding cats, trying to get them to work together. Herding sheep is easy. They very quickly get going the same direction. But try herding cats. It's like your children, different ages and different personalities and different opinions. To get the family all going the same direction, kind of working together to make things work, I'm telling you, it is a challenge. But if you'll have some patience, you can do it. Now, here's the big one, to have patience with yourself. Give yourself time to learn. Give yourself time to understand good ideas. Give yourself time. Have patience with yourself. Because patience has its own reward. Patience is a virtue of the extraordinary kind. We have to have patience with our employers. We have to have patience with government officials. You've got to have patience with IRS. You got to have patience with the Army. You got to have patience with the FBI. Here's a good thing to remember while you're exercising patience. Usually enough good people will finally make it right. You just got to jot that down. Usually enough good people will finally make it right. Not everyone in the community is going to toe the line and do the moral thing. But let me tell you what, most will. That's how we create a society that we can live in. Most will. Every teenager will not obey all the rules and regulations and live a model life. Not everyone will, but jot this down. Most will. Enough will. When the good Lord recruited 12, not every disciple.
All right, family, we're here. Yes, we're here. Let me make sure it's all out. Yes, okay. Let me just confirm on my side.
Not every one of the 12. But it was enough of the 12 to start a movement that's lasted for 2,000 years. Not everyone, but enough will. There's only been a couple of exceptions to that rule. One was the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. God was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah for their evil ways. Abraham had a friend that lived there. And Abraham implored and said, God, if I can go to Sodom and Gomorrah and find 50 righteous people, will you spare the city? And God said, Abraham, you've been such an excellent friend of mine. Yes, I'll spare the city if you can find 50. So he searches the city, can't find 50 good people. Comes back and says, look.
There we go. What's up, familia? How is everybody doing this morning? Grand Rising. Thank you for hopping on. We had some little technical difficulties there, but we got it to work. So let me let the family know right here. Last shot before we start and get right into it. Let's see. What's up, familia? You guys are awesome. Let me see. There we go. We got it. All right, familia. So let's get this call started. I'm super blessed, super excited to be here today with each and every single one of you guys. I hope all of you guys are having a blessed morning. It's been a great week. If you guys have had a great week thus far, put a 5 in the chat box. Put a 5 in the chat box if you've been having a great week, if you've been, just feeling amazing, feeling aligned, feeling connected, feeling better than what it is that, it's out there, to be honest, right? We just been feeling so good about everything, and it's just been such a good week for all of us. Even for me, just all the way around, it's been a great week. Great week with the 5 basics. Yes. And I'm just so excited for you guys. I'm also excited for everybody to learn, to elevate, to apply, to take themselves to the next level, to master the basics, right? And make sure that each and every single one of us continue to grow. So huge shout out to everybody. Also, I want to make sure that everybody knows that it is Friday. So, we won't be back with Mornings with Nano till Monday-ish. So, I'm excited to finish the week strong. Let's talk about real quick. Let's talk about what's one thing that we're grateful for really quick. What is one thing that we are all grateful for? Type it in the chat box. What are we all grateful for? Type it in there. Let's make sure. Let's spread the word. Let's let everybody know what is one thing that we are all grateful for. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for my mentors. I'm grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dariana. I'm extremely grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano Familia. I'm extremely grateful for everyone who jumps on Mornings with Nano and shows loves and apply. I'm grateful for the leaders in my organization. I'm grateful for Katie. I'm grateful for Hazel, who I miss so much. Haven't seen her in a while. And I'm extremely, extremely grateful for everything that's happening in my life, because everything is happening in alignment exactly how it's supposed to happen. And there's nothing better than that. So always, always, always grateful for that. Always. So let's go live on IG. And let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's see. There we go. All right. Let me let everybody know, starting now. All right. So I wanted to go over a very specific topic on Friday before we finished off the week, because I think it's important that we all understand the importance of, yes, we're gonna work and we're gonna practice the feeling is the wish fulfilled, and we're gonna put ourselves in position and we're gonna master the basics. But I also want to make sure that everybody understand what comes with the test that we're all going to grow through as well during these times, because it's also easy, to say we're going to do these things. Yes, I know it's easy to say that, we're gonna do these things and we're gonna apply this information, and we're gonna put our people on. But the toughest thing to do is understand the tests that also come with, okay, is the tests that also come with the promise, which is what I like to say, right? The test that comes with the promise. Okay, make sure you guys understand that part right there. That's the game-changing thing. There's always a test that comes with the promise. Okay, and there's very specific tests that you're going to go through, and I want to make sure that you're aware of them. Okay, because remember, the whole part of the whole entire game is awareness. Okay, and as long as you can be aware of the tests that you're going to experience, it's kind of like knowing the test that you got to take in order for you to to go to the next grade. It's basically, right? It's not like you're just how do I get to the next grade and you don't know the test. No, I'm going to give you the 4 tests, right? I don't know if you guys, I'm from in New York, for example. If you wanted to go to the next grade, you had to pass a certain amount of tests. You had to pass the math test, you had to pass the English test, the history test, the science test, right? In order for you to get to that next level, okay, you had to pass a certain test in order for you to get there, right? Well, that's exactly what it is that you're gonna have to go through in life in general, in order, the regions, right? Regionals, yep. In order for you to get to that next level, right? So in this journey, you're gonna have to go through certain tests as well. And that's what I want to cover here real quick, so you guys are aware of those tests. I don't want to keep it long either. I want to give you guys a powerful, good training right here and get you guys rocking. But what are the 4 major tests we all go through? All right. The first major test we all go through, I want you guys to write this down, because I know that this is something that a lot of people need to learn and need to understand. The first major test is the test of the enemies attacking. Okay, that's the first test that we're going to go through, right? The first test we're all going to go through is the test of the enemies attacking us. Okay, now, even before I break it down and go into it, guys, put a 1 in the chat box if you had your mom talk down on your business, one of your friends talk down on your business, a family member, your significant other, co-workers. Has anybody tried to talk down to you on the business that you currently do? Right? Did it come from your friend? Did it come from a family member? Right? Didn't it feel like this was the very first, like for me, this was the very first test that I failed. I mean, not that I failed, but the very first test that I experienced, right? Because when I came into the business, all right, this was the very first one. Okay, the enemies attacking. Okay, and they're not necessarily enemies, right? It's not that, we have beef with them, or they don't like who we are. It's just they're attacking our dream. They're attacking what is possible, right? And it's so crazy because I remember when I first joined the business, this is the first thing that I was attacked with, right? This was the very, very first thing that, I was attacked with, which was the people. Okay. But we need to understand that it's just because, guess what? They're unconscious, incompetent about things. Remember that. Our families, right, are unconscious, incompetent about what we're doing. Okay. Which means that they don't know what they don't know. They don't understand the vision that was given to you. They don't understand the promise that God gave you. So sometimes when you get attacked by family, by friends, by coworkers, by, significant others, that's the enemy attacking. And it's tough to understand. And look, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not just talking about enemies when it comes to friends and family. Okay, I'm also talking about the enemy when I talk about the devil, the negative entity as well. Because look, I want to make sure you guys understand this, all right? When you start to do things that you've never done, okay, that entity, that negative energy is also going to do its best to stop you and keep you where you are so he can always maintain control. All right? So think about that. That's what's powerful about everything that I'm covering with you guys right now, is that not only will you be attacked in the physical, but you're also going to be attacked in the spiritual. You will always be attacked in the spiritual as well. All right. So we got to understand that there's going to be multiple tests from the enemy. And the enemy attacks us not only through people, but he also attacks us up here in the mental. And I realized that as I started doing this business, especially in the beginning, this was the toughest part, because I want you guys to write this down. The hardest thing about getting to the top is getting through the crowd at the bottom. I'll never forget those words. The hardest thing about getting to the top is getting through the crowd at the bottom. Because those are the people that are going to attack you. Right? Remember, guys, this is so important. All right? This is so important. You got to realize that certain people just don't understand. You have to realize that, and this is what I had to really break down, that your friends and family, okay, won't support you until strangers start to celebrate you. Because when you sit down and you break it down and you really sit down and realize, right, remember, your friends and family see you for who you are. Strangers see you for where you're going. And understanding that part is one of the most important things of this journey. Friends and family see you for who you are. Strangers see you for where you are going. And when I understood that, I was able to get more at ease with the idea of people that were close to me not understanding what I was doing. Because everybody saw Nano as what? This is Nano from the hood. This is Nano from Washington Heights that I went to high school with, that played baseball, that went here, that goes to the corner store. They knew Nano as that Nano. So they were like, oh, Nano's doing a business. It's just Nano, man. Me and Nano go to the same store. Me and Nano we went to the same school. There was no inspiration. They were like, Nano's doing this? Okay, like, so what? So what if Nano's doing this? Yeah, me and Nano, we went to the same high school. Me and Nano go to the same gym. So there was no belief because they saw me remember, friends and family see you for who you are. Same bodega, right? They saw me for who I was at the time, for who they knew me as. But you know what's the beautiful thing? Strangers, my family, you guys, right? You guys, some of you guys are strangers to me. I don't know some of us, right? But guess what? The strangers, guess what? See me for where I'm going. You guys never got a chance to meet that Nano. You didn't grow up with me. You didn't see how I grew up. You didn't go to the same corner store as I did. You didn't go to the same high school as I did. Right? So for you, it's easier for you to see me for where I'm going. You can only see, if I tell you, yo, I'm going to 7 figures, you only see me for that. You see me for, yo, Nano's going to be a 7-figure earner. He's going to be 7-figure earner. He's going to impact the world. Because that's all that's been my only impression for you. So you're going to have to understand that that's going to be one of the biggest things you go through in this business for sure, especially in this journey, right? I run a training, right? One of my favorite trainings to run for newer individuals in the organization is the 6 phases of growth, okay? And the first phase of growth is the rejection zone. Hit me up, Kev. It's the rejection zone. And 90+ % of people don't make it through the rejection zone. Why? Because they're getting the rejection from their friends, from their family, from the people closest to them. Okay, they're dealing with a lot of rejection. This is the enemy attacking. Rejection, rejection, rejection. Rejection, rejection. You're gonna do network marketing? What? You're gonna do Monet? No way. You're gonna do crypto now? You're gonna be one of those people? Don't tell me that. Oh, you know what? I don't think I should do it then. I don't want anybody to think anything of me. And people lose their dreams. I've seen people lose their dreams because they were scared about what other people were going to say about them. You know what? You know what's the funniest part about all of this too? That sometimes the biggest enemy, guess who it is? Right? Guess sometimes who the biggest enemy is. Can you guys give me a huge guess who the biggest enemy is? Yourself as well. Sometimes you're your biggest enemy. Because we tend to be the ones that hold ourselves back. Sometimes it's not even our own people. Sometimes it's not our families. Sometimes it's not a negative entity. Sometimes our biggest enemies are ourselves. we hold each other back with the things that we tell ourselves, with the limiting beliefs, with the chains that we put on ourselves. When we tell ourselves, I can't do this. I am so stressed. The things we tell ourselves are hurt us more than some of the things that other people tell us. Because you got to remember, the things that other people tell us is them telling us our own self-limiting beliefs. Remember, people are only a reflection of the things and the thoughts that you have. So if you have other people not believing in your business, if you have other people doubting you, if you have other people talking down to you, maybe those are some of the things that you do subconsciously to yourself. Maybe you don't believe. Maybe you talk down to yourself. Maybe you don't have that, that confidence in yourself. When somebody told me that kind of hit me like a brick. I was like, wait, you mean to tell me that the insecurities and the doubts and the fears that people have is things that I'm attracting subconsciously? And somebody say, yeah, that's how it works. And they said, unless you change that, unless you get confident about this business, unless you get confident about the journey and you start to believe, right? Nobody's going to change their perception of you. Because remember, people are going to see you how you see yourself. So if you don't believe, people won't believe. If you don't have faith, people won't have faith. If you have doubt, people will have doubt. That's how it works. If you doubt the journey, then you're going to have people that are going to doubt the journey with you. If you're not confident in what you're doing, then the people around you are not going to be confident in what they're telling you. Because remember, you attract who you are. You attract who you are. So when you see people, pay attention to the things, right? Pay attention to the things that people tell you. Pay attention to it. Because the things that people tell you a lot about yourself. And that's important for all of us to know. And that's the first test that we're going to go through, which is the test of the enemy. Okay? It's very key. Now, what is the second test that we're going to go through? All right? The second test we're going to go through is the test of servanthood. The test of servanthood. We all know that the service to many leads to greatness. It's the first one. That's the second one. Test of servanthood. What do I mean by that? You're going to be tested and see if you truly are somebody who's going to serve, that's going to help other people get to where they want to go to. Or are you the type of person to keep it to yourself? Right? Because you see, you can't keep this information to yourself. You can't keep this wisdom to yourself. You have to share it. So are you willing to share what you learn? Are you willing to put people on to what's changing your life? Are you willing to help people get closer to their creator with your examples? See, that's one of God's purpose for us on this earth is for us to lead by example and help his lost children. Because there's a lot of people who are lost. And unless we serve them, unless we show them, they will never know. They will never understand the word. Every day I'm serving. One of my tests of servanthood is the test that I go through daily. Am I willing to show up every day regardless of what I'm going through? Nano's going through a business issue, through a family issue. This is happening, that happens, but he still shows up and he serves. Something happened in his business, but the next day he wakes up and he serves. He's not feeling too good. He's under the weather. He still wakes up the next day and he serves. Things didn't go the way that he wanted them to. People left his business. This happened, that happened. He still serves. Only one person showed up. He still serves. Serving, regardless of what is going on, I still serve. Because I understand the test of servanthood. I serve. I understand this. Remember, guys, I understand it on a different level than most people. I won't miss a day to serve. Nano goes to sleep at 3 in the morning and he has to be in the morning. He still makes it happen because he got to wake up and serve. He gets to wake up and serve. He gets to wake up and serve. Because this is the importance of everything that is going on here, is the servanthood. Am I willing to share the word? Am I willing to tell people about what I'm doing? Am I willing to help people get out of that box? Right? Because I'm escaping. I'm escaping the box. I'm escaping the mental jail that they have us in. So it's my job, okay, to lead by example and help as many people get out of there as I can. I can't just try to leave on my own. That's not what a servant does. He tries to help as many people as he can. So we're going to see if you guys are true servants. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to make your purpose and God's purpose on this earth become a reality? Are you going to be willing to serve? Are you going to be willing to help others? Because remember, it's not about us. It's about the next person. It's never about you. It's never about me. I could be, like I always said, guys, I could be going through whatever. It doesn't matter what Nano goes through. I got to show up for my people, for you guys, because sometimes it's not about me. Sometimes it's what you guys are going through. Sometimes it's me being there as a big brother, as a mentor for us, for you. I need to be able to put my pride aside. I need to be able to put my problems aside. I need to be able to put my ego aside. And you be like, you know what? I might be going through this, but Tiara needs me to show up today. Roxana needs me to show up today. Alina needs me to show up today. Iman needs me to show up today. Junior needs me to show up today. Altagracia needs me to be here today. I can't just slip up because I'm going through something. No, Elijah needs me to show up today. Tiff needs me to show up today. She needs to hear the message today. I cannot not show up because I'm going through something. I need to show up. Because just because I'm going through something doesn't mean that they're going through something. They need the motivation this morning. They need the message this morning. I need to show up. No matter what. That's how it works. CJ, I love you guys too. Right? Yes, I'm going through something, but I still got to show up for my mom and my dad. I still got to show up for my goddaughter. Right? Some of you guys got kids. Hey, you guys know how it is. You know how it's like. We got to show up every day for our kids. We're serving our kids. You don't want to be a bad example for your kids. You don't want your, I know, my parents, I still to this day give them so much gratitude. I watched my mom and my dad go through so much, and every day they woke up and went to work. They went to work. My dad was there every morning, rain or shine, at 6 a.m. He was already out of the house. By 6, 7 a.m., he was out of the house. And he showed up no matter what. If he felt bad, if he was under the weather, if he got drunk the night before, if him and my mom were arguing, every day he showed up. Every day he served. Every day he went to do what he had to do. Same with my mother. That's real OG stuff. Like, and you got to think about it. They grew up in times where it was harder. They grew up in times where they didn't have the resources that we have. How can I not show up when I'm going through something? But look at how abundant and how amazing life is for us. Some of us get to work right from our laptops and our homes and our phones. Think about how awesome that is. Some of us are actually going to be able to do what we love to do. Imagine having to wake up and do something you hated to do. So remember, we got to serve. Serving is what we're here for. This is God's purpose for us on this earth, is to serve. So every day you got to do your best to help one person at least. And you know, the way you help people the most is by being an example. By being an example. The reason we're here today is because our leader, our creator, was an example. He made the sacrifices. He served. And now we're here. And that's the key. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, 2 more. And this one's a good one. The test of patience. This one is the one that gets a lot of people right here. The test of patience. This is where he gets a few here. Because when you sit down and you really sit down and think about it, you're like, man, how long is it going to take me to get there? Right? I know all of us, we wonder that. Like, yo, how long is it going to take me? Like, yo, when am I going to finally figure this out? Like, how is this going to work? Is it going to be this summer? Is it going to be by the end of the year? Is it going to be 2023? Is it going to be 2024? Like, when am I going to get it? You know how many people have quit because of their lack of patience, right? As a matter of fact, since number 3 is the test of patience, have you ever had anybody quit your business? Or have you seen anybody quit on their business because of their lack of patience? Put a 3 in the chat box, right? If you've had anybody quit your business, or have you seen anyone quit their business because they lack patience, put a 3 in the chat box, right? I'm going to put a 3 in there as well, because I'll tell you guys right now, I've seen way too many people quit because of their lack of patience. Nano, but I haven't got the results yet, bro. I don't think this actually works as much as you say it does. I'm out, and they're gone. No patience. They didn't wait. They planted the seed yesterday, and they were expecting to eat the fruit the next day. That's the problem. The seed takes time to grow. The seed also has to be in the right environment. It has to be fed the right nutrients, the right amount of sunlight. It has to be in the right soil. Okay, it has to be watered. They didn't have the patience to lay there the brick after brick after brick. And they didn't understand that even though we was building this empire, that there were going to be times that we were going to build it and it might fall apart and we had to start from scratch again. They didn't have the patience. They didn't have the patience to build the foundation. They didn't have the patience to understand that it was going to take time. They didn't have the patience to understand that they just needed more experience. You just need more experience. I tell people this, and I tell them all the time, yo, we have to do it until. until it happens, until it manifests, until it becomes a reality. Can we all type until in the chat box? Right? We have to do it until. Let's see what we got on IG with me. We got to do it until it happens. Until we make $1 million. Until we retire our families. Until our kids are good. Until we have that relationship with God. Nano, how long is it going to take me to build that relationship with God? Until. Until. I've been writing it down for 2 years, and now is that I finally feel that I really have a solid relationship with my Creator. But guess what? I did it until he trusted me, until he said, you know what, my son, you're trustworthy. Let me get you a little bit closer. Until. No, you want to make 6 figures? We have to do it until you make the 6 figures. Right? My next goal is 7 figures. Until it happens. I'm not going to stop. God's timing will be perfect. When he wants me to have it, when he wants me to have it, he will give it to me. Because you know what I learned yesterday? I was hearing what's his name? Steve Harvey. And Steve Harvey said that whenever you ask for anything, okay, God, what he does is he says, okay, you want $1 million. All right, awesome. He wraps it up. He puts it in a gift wrapper, and he sends it right away. He has it ready for you. All right. But the only thing is he's not going to tell you when, because before it arrives, he needs to put you through a few tests. So I love that he said that. He said, so the moment you ask for anything, any prayer, the moment you ask for guidance, whatever it is that you want specifically, God specifically, right away, he sends it out. But guess what he does? Before he gives it to you, before he gives you the gift that you asked for, he needs to test you first. He needs to test to see if you truly are prepared for this. He needs to test to see if you have the faith. What is faith, guys? The belief in the unseen. You haven't seen the gift yet, but let's see if you can keep the faith through the test that he's going to put you through. Pay attention. Just because you planted the seed, right? You got to be able to see the tree. You got to have faith that that tree is going to grow. You got to have faith that that tree is going to grow. Because if you don't have faith, he's not going to deliver. He's not going to deliver. Because you don't have faith. Right? Well, I love what Drew typed in the chat, right? He said, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. You got to be able to sit down and apply this information and realize, okay, Nano talked about 3 tests so far. He talked about the test of the enemy. He talked about the test of servanthood. And he talked about the test of patience. The test of patience. It's gonna take time. And what is time? Things I must experience. You guys hear me say this all the time. I'm gonna install this in your heads until you guys know this stuff verbatim. I'm gonna make sure you guys master this information. It's my duty to make sure you guys master this. Nano said everything is going to take time, and time stands for things I must experience. Can't miss this for anything in the world. So what do? We do it until it happens. Just whenever you think about your goals, just remind yourself of that until. until it happens, until it manifests, until it becomes a reality. That has always stayed in my mind. I learned that from one of my mentors. He said, you just got to do it until. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, until it shows up. Work every day until, with no expectations. If it takes you 2 years, if it takes you 5 years, if it takes you 100 years, you do it until. If that's what you want, you go after it. And you never stop. You never, ever, ever stop until you get it. If you committed to something, you run it up until you get that. You wanted that car, you wanted that house, you wanted to make sure you retire your family, you do it until. Just think about this. Look at this, guys. I had dreams of retiring my parents as a kid. If I were to be honest with you guys, my dream of retiring my parents has been since I've been conscious enough, has been a thing since I was don't even play with me. Has been a thing since I was even conscious. I would say since I was like 12 years old. Let's just say since I was 12, for example. Right? I had dreams of retiring my parents, let's say since I was 12 years old, and buying them a house in the Dominican Republic since I was 12. I'm 27. 15 years later. 15 years later. And I still haven't bought my mom and dad that house. Am I closer than I've ever been? Yes. But what am I doing it? I'm doing it until it happens. Until it happens. Think about it. We still going until. So it's not a matter of if I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it until. You see that? Think about how crazy that is. 15 years. And I'm still going strong. I'm still pushing every day until my parents are retired, until I give them the keys to the house, until they're laid up like this under the mango tree, under the tree in the backyard, and until. But it's been 15 years. It's been 15 years. I wanted to be a millionaire. Right? I want to be a millionaire. I started my network marketing journey, my crypto journey. I started this 4 years ago. I'm still not a millionaire in the physical, but look, guess what? I'm doing it until it happens. If it takes me 5 years, if it takes me 6, if it takes me 7 years, I'm going to do it until it becomes a reality. Until. And it's going to happen, all of them. It's going to happen. You know why? Because it's already done. And that's what I want you all to understand right there. So, number 3 was the test of patience. And then the last and final one, number 4, is the test of resistance. The test of resistance. And this is the tough part. Because a lot of us, we hit limits in our lives. We have things that resist us, that stop us from going to the next level. And that's tough right there. And you know where our resistance comes from? Right? Some of us, our resistance comes from our habits. Because think about it. If you have a bad habit of waking up late, that's something that's resisting you. If you have a habit of not studying every day, that's something that's holding you back. Some of us have a lot of resistances in our lives that are holding us back. A lot of you guys have a lot of things that are holding you back, man. Too many bad habits. That's where the resistance comes from right there. The bad habits. Too many of you guys are listening to more music than you're listening to audios. That's a resistance. That's a huge resistance. Some of you spend more time on IG than you work on yourselves. That's resistance. There's a lot of resistances in your life because of your habits. Your habits are the ones that hold you back the most. Think about it. We talked about we talked about the test of the enemy. We talked about the test of servanthood. We talked about the test of patience. We're talking about the test of resistance right here, right now. The test of resistance holds so many people back. And the resistance is their habits. And it's tough. And I had somebody said, how would you recommend we let that resistance go? Well, resistance, think about it. If it comes from habits, okay, habits come from actions. Actions come from the way, you feel, and the things you feel determine the thoughts that you have. Okay, you need to change the way you're thinking in order for you to change those habits. It starts with your thoughts. It starts with the things that you tell yourself. It starts with the small daily methods of operations that you're applying to make changes in yourself. It's that deep work. You got to put that deep work in every day, because my habits changed when I changed, when I started to think differently, right? I went from being somebody that didn't have a routine to being somebody that did have a routine. Because when I didn't have a routine, okay, I had bad habits. So I said, if I didn't have a solid routine, that means I was filled with nothing but bad habits. I was filled with habits that weren't benefiting me, that weren't allowing me to grow. So what I did was I changed my habits and I started to think differently. But I had to do things I had never did in order for me to get the things that I never had. So I started to wake up earlier. I started to read more. I started to write my goals down more. I started to do new things. I started to work out. I started to eat healthier. Since my thinking was changing, my emotions were changing. Since my emotions were getting in a better place, the actions that I was taking were more intentional. Since the actions that I was taking were more intentional, okay, the habits that I had were more getting solidified. And day after day, I started to change those habits. Every day, from the bottom, I started to change them. From the foundation, I started to change them, which was from up here. Because I had too much resistance holding me back. Your habits are your biggest test of resistance. Your habits. And you guys all know right here on this call that we all have, including Nano himself, we all have bad habits right now that are holding us back from getting to the next level. That if we had the opposite of that habit, we would probably be further than we are right now. And let's be all true and honest right here. We all have habits that we know right now off the top of our head that we can mention that are holding us back, that are keeping us where we are. We all know we have them. Whether it's the habit of procrastination, whether it's the habit of starting things and not finishing things, whether it's the habit of not developing yourself and working on yourself, whether it's the habit of doubting yourself, the habit of talking down about yourself, whether it's the habit of who knows, whether it's the habit of eating bad, there's habits that we all have that are holding us back, and we need to realize them. All right, guys. So those are the four tests of these are the four tests that you're gonna have to grow through. Okay, the test of the enemies, the test of servanthood, the test of patience, and the test of resistance. Okay, be aware of them, understand them, and remember them, because whatever test you go through in life, okay, whatever test you go through in life is going to come down to these tests right here. It's going to come down to this right here. It's going to come down to what you do when these tests show up. Are you going to be able to pass these tests? The only reason I made you guys aware of them is so that now you can be able to see them when they come and understand that this is just a test. Man, God is testing me because the enemies are attacking. Now I realize, okay, dope. This is a test. I got to pass the test. I can't let them win. I got to pass this test. All right. Man, I don't feel good today, but I have a call I got to show up for. I got an event I got to go to. I got to go because I got to serve. This is a test right here. Am I going to stay home and chill? Am I going to stay home and go to sleep? Am I not going to show up, or am I going to show up and pass the test? Okay, dope. I said I wanted to make six figures, but I haven't got it yet. God is testing my patience. I have this habit that I haven't been able to break, and this is what's resisting me. This is my test of resistance. I got to break this habit. You have to realize the tests that are being given to you on a day-to-day basis and start to pass them. The more tests you pass, the faster you get what you want. All right, family. So my phone died. Let me put it to charge right here. My laptop actually is on 3%. So let me give you guys a quick prayer before we go. I'm going to be out here in the San Francisco area. So if you guys want to come to the event, let me know if you are in the San Francisco area so I can send you guys the link. All right. But quick prayer for us before we all go, and then let's wrap it up. Everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, we just want to thank you so much for allowing us to wake up on this beautiful Friday morning. We are so extremely thankful for your grace and for your abundance and your blessings. We don't want to ask for anything on today's prayer except for just strength for when the tests show up. A lot of people I've seen, Father, when the tests come, they're not strong enough. And they don't have the mental capacity to be able to push through. So all that we ask, God, is for strength, for power, for that determination that we need in order for us to make it through these tests. Because yes, these tests are difficult. The test of the enemies, the test of servanthood, the test of patience, and the test of resistance. These are all tests that are difficult to pass if you don't have the strength to make it through those. And a lot of us need that strength. And we need you there by our side each and every single day. And we need the awareness that comes with these tests as well. Because if we're not aware of the tests that are being given to us on a day-to-day basis, then how can we pass them? And we know that with the awareness and with the strength that you give us, God, we will be so much well prepared in order for us to win, God. So thank you for guiding us, and thank you for being there for us. And thank you for giving us this test, because we know that these tests are not just there for us to just be there. No. These tests are there to help us become better, to prepare us for what it is that we are asking for. And at the end of the day, we will never question why it is that you do what you do. We just know that you're doing it for a better purpose, God. So thank you for guiding us. Thank you for being there for us. Thank you for giving us the strength. We are ready for all tests that life throws at us. And we will continue to pray for you, God, and we will continue to ask for it, because we know that with this strength is the way that we're going to be able to get to where we want to go to. So continue to guide us. Continue to put your healing hand over our family. Continue to guide us through everything. We appreciate you so much, and we love you so much. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. Yeah. Let's go. Pass me a water. Thank you, family. Great free. Appreciate you, bro. Let's get it. All right, guys. So with that being said, that wraps up today's call. I'm going to be in the San Francisco area today. I'm going to go get myself some good clam chowder. We have a meet and greet later tonight. So I hope you guys all have a blessed rest of your day. And for my mothers who are on the call on Sunday, I know it's Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all my beautiful mothers that jump on this call each and every single day. I know I didn't get it. I'm not going to be able to get a chance to tell some of you guys that. But to all my mothers, to all my beautiful ladies out there, God bless you guys. Thank you guys so much for everything. And happy Mother's Day to all. All right, fam. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let's continue to run it up because I know we are on our way to some amazing things. All right, fam. So love and gratitude for all. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys back here on Monday. Let's run it. Let's go.